Ladies and gentlemen, we are back inside the build barn.
We are back! We are back!
Now, when I last left you guys, we were working on this bad boy behind me, which is my 1972 Datsun 240Z. And it desperately needs a new engine. You may or may not be aware, but an engine is not supposed to make that sound, which is why we got this thing. Instead of rebuilding the 327 that's in the car, currently it's cheaper, easier, more time consuming just to swap it out with a 350 that I was able to find on Marketplace. Even if it was on Marketplace, it's from a very reliable source, a friend of a friend who actually has been building engines for over 40 years. He also was a teacher at a heavy mechanics school, so I think he knows how to build engines. All right, so last time we disconnected everything that we need up here. I don't think we missed anything. I double checked around back there a little bit. Doesn't seem to be anything. So now we're gonna go underneath the car and unhook everything that we need. So under the car, there's not too much from what I can see. We're gonna take off these bolts here that hold the downpipes to the headers. That'll break all of that loose. Then we're gonna move on to the transmission up here. A couple bolts on the cross member. There's some wires that we'll tuck in out of the way. We'll move into the car. We'll take apart the gear shifter and make sure that that's clear. And then there should just be the motor mounts, which are 1, 2, 3 bolts. We're still under the car, but we've finally made some headway. It's been an hour, it's been frustrating, but the drive shaft is ready to come off. So now there should be enough play that you'll be able to move this inside the transmission, and I'll be able to pop the back side of the axle off the car, take the exhaust off, and everything should slide out. Now, unfortunately, my camera battery died and I had my hands full, but we did manage to get the drive shaft out and the exhaust also. So we're gonna head back to the front of the car and figure out what else we need to do. All right, so here's a good one I thought I'd share with you guys. You see these engine studs here? They don't have anything to take them off with. So if you take 2 bolts, thread 1, thread 2, tighten them together, and loosen the bottom one, stud comes right out. And while that was going on, if you guys didn't make the joke to yourself that I am in fact the engine stud, come on, isn't it obvious? Now, I'm not proud of the absurd amount of washers I had to put on there to make it snug. It's not what I would recommend, but it's all we have for the moment, so. Now, the plan was to take off the intercooler and the fan, but as I found out, I can't get underneath there without taking apart the AC hoses. So we're gonna try it once with the fans and intercoolers on, and we'll see if we can clear this space here and get the engine out. Now, I think to make it a little easier, I'm gonna end up taking off the alternator just to make sure that we can clear all of this mess here. And while we're here, there's only one more bolt to take off the water pump, so we might as well do that and get it out of the way. The engine lift that we were using had to go so far back in the engine bay that it was rubbing against the front of the bumper, so we just decided to go right ahead and take it off to avoid any damages. I ended up putting a piece of wood in front of the radiator since we couldn't take the radiator off without doing the AC lines. I wanted to protect the radiator in case the engine decided to go right through it. And we started lifting inch by inch. Not bad. One wire I forgot. One. We ended up maxing the height of the engine lift, so we actually had to drop the car on the car lift to be able to get it out. Wasn't the end of the world. Obviously I could have used another hand here, but you make do with what you got. At this point the engine was very close to coming out. We just needed to make sure that the gear shifter on the back of the transmission was clearing the firewall, because that's the only thing that was gonna hit. Okay, don't let it go, don't let it go. Okay, you're good, you're good.
I'm good.
You're good. Yeah. Damn, dude.
Yeah?
What about it? Bro, she's out.
Nice.
So she is out. We did it. We didn't really break anything either. The distributor back here did hit on the way up behind the car, but it seems fine. Transmission's fine. Everything's good to go. This transmission is by far the best transmission I've ever had. This is a T56 by American Powertrain, and just listen to this thing clicking into gear. Makes me want to buy one for the Supra back there, because that one is the original transmission, the V160. It's made to hold 1,000 horsepower, but it just doesn't feel the same. It feels like an old transmission from 1993. So this is what it looks like after the engine pulled out. We have a bunch of wires back there. We're gonna clean all that up anyway, along on the sides here. We're gonna put a loom in that and tidy it up. And we also didn't damage the radiator somehow, which I find very hard to believe, but I double checked it. There is nothing broken. No, none of the little fins are even moved. I don't really know how we did that, but let's not try it again. And you can see the frame down there and the steering rack. The steering rack is okay. The power steering works. It's not the best, but it does work. However, we have another big announcement. And for it, we have to go to the United States. Alrighty, we are all loaded up, good to go. It took maybe 2 minutes, and we are back off to Canada. This one's a little heavier. Come on. This is why we drove 2 hours today. And no, they're not parts for the RX-7. This, we have pretty much everything we need. We got radiators, we got hoses, we got everything to button this thing up and get it on the road. The only thing we don't have is enough time. But we will get to it eventually after the 240. Now, to be fair, I did open this with all these stickers and everything facing up, but it's upside down. So this, So this is a full front and rear suspension kit from Apex engineered for the 240Z. And I mean, you got everything here. We have the rear subframe, the front frame here that we're gonna change with the, we'll have to double check, but they did ask which motor mounts I wanted. So we did get LS motor mounts that should fit the new 350 back there. I mean, this kit comes with everything. The front spindles, rear spindles, the control arms back there. So these spindles here and here should thread directly in the scale suspension that we already have. I double checked with them before ordering. They are the same thread pitch, same size, and fingers crossed we don't have to cut them and weld some new ones on because those look very clean. And the final piece of this very large and complicated puzzle is the a rear differential from a Nissan 370Z Nismo. So that should slide directly into this brand new rear subframe. And that is the last weak piece of the puzzle that should slide right in and make for a buttery smooth drive. So in the front of the car, you can see this whole front subframe along with the power steering rack is coming out. We're gonna change everything that goes into there except for the scale suspension, which is already on the car. Those brakes should fit the new front spindles also, so we don't have to change those. But in the rear, I think it's gonna be a completely different story. This is gonna be quite complicated. We gotta get the diff out. This rear subframe, there's somewheres where we have to notch up there for the 370Z diff to fit. We're changing all these arms, the axles, and these are actually drum brakes. And I don't think that these are gonna fit onto the new kit, so we might have to get some rear discs. And now you guys know the sad secret of my amazing stance for my 240Z. So I think that is going to do it for today. Next week, we're gonna be putting all the accessories onto the new 350 engine. We're also going to be installing the front subframe and everything we need to do in the front, because obviously you have to do it with the engine out. The engine is already out, so we're gonna do that before we drop it in. And it should be very interesting because that's a lot of hardware. Fortunately, Apex Engineer does have some very helpful videos online, so we're gonna dive into that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it all goes well. Zoe, is it your time to say goodbye? No, you're shy. You're a big shy girl. Yes. Say bye-bye.